If you listen to the mainstream news, you'll never get off your backside, you'll never leave your front door, and you'll never invest in Bitcoin. This week there's been all sorts of crazy news and not so much conspiracy theories, but negative commentary about the Bitcoin market. And it fascinates me to see how some of us ignore it and others panic and worry. One of the things about mainstream media is they try very hard to promote the central bank, to promote the Federal Reserve arguments. In the United Kingdom, in England this week, the governor of the Bank of England has been pushing forward the idea that individuals should be capped at 10 to 20,000 pounds worth of stable coins, and that organisations, investment organisations, should be limited to $10 million worth, or sorry, £10 million worth of those same stable coins. And that's triggered a lot of conversation, a lot of, I think, fear has been introduced into the market by people saying, well, what's the point of me buying these modern cryptocurrencies if a government can limit what I should have? Here's the thing. We have a Labour government in England, which is a left-wing government, which is pushing really hard for control. But why is it doing that? It's doing that because central banks are terrified of the power of stablecoins, of cryptocurrency in general, and Bitcoin in particular. The idea that they can impose a limit when they are not an elected body, when they're not they're part of the machine, but they're not part of the consensus of coiners like you and I. And it's caused a lot of upset, a lot of debate. But let's move beyond that and think about how we want to control our future wealth, how we want to take what we have and protect it for our family and for our loved ones, so that we know that we have done something intelligent and thoughtful and practical. Just looking at the numbers for today, I've just got some notes on here. As I record this, Bitcoin sits at $109,735 or £817. By the way, it's ironic, I don't know whether you can hear it, but I'm sitting upstairs on the top floor of the house and there is a colossal thunder and lightning storm going on outside, and it's lighting up the sky every now and again. I don't know whether that will reflect in my glasses or on the wall, but it's great energy. And in a way, to me, it reflects the energy that's been going on in the marketplace this week about, is Bitcoin over? Is it a good time to sell? When should I let go of my Bitcoin? These are ludicrous things. Bitcoin is the scarcest monetary asset in the world. With 21 million coins to be mined, every little piece of a Bitcoin you can get hold of is good for you, and it's good for your financial future. If there's 100 million Satoshis in every single Bitcoin, and we know that's the structure, then for as little as $1,079, you are securing 1 million Satoshis, i.e. 1% of the 100 million in a whole Bitcoin. For the UK, that's £817 for 1 million Satoshis. Do we know right now what the value of a Satoshi will be in the future? No. But can we realistically predict what it will be? Well, yes. If Bitcoin has gone up by more than 30% a year for the last 10 years, then you buying Satoshis, many Satoshis for just a few cents or a few pennies on the pound or the dollar, is putting you in a strong position where you are putting that money in your wallet and seeing it safely protected off the main platforms. You're protecting that money and you are securing for your family a significant piece of the world's financial pie, which is a very limited 21 million Bitcoin. I like having Satoshis, I like having Bitcoin. What can you do for just a small amount of money? You know, I talked about this last week. So, for example, for an ounce of silver, 16 ounces of silver will get me about £1,000. But that means I'm getting 1 million Satoshis for 16 ounces of silver. Or I go for 1.2 ounces of gold and I buy myself almost 4 million Satoshis on the current price of gold. What we have to do is think, what can we do with those small amounts of money that we have, whether it's $50 left over after our spending for the week, we've got $50 in our wallet. What can we do? We can go out and we can buy some Satoshis. You can add that to your wallet, you can add it to your basic trading platform for crypto and secure yourself something that's valuable and has future potential at an enormous value. A year ago, we bought a mining package that has generated a 43% return in 1 year. Now, that's not as good as buying a whole Bitcoin last year for 60,000, seeing it peak last month at $121,000. But damn, we've still got the mining package and it keeps generating money every 5 minutes, so that at the end of every day I can see what we've created in digital coins, and then every 10 days I convert that, maybe $150, $250 every 10 days. I convert that to Bitcoin and hold it in my secure wallet. That was an incredibly sensible thing to do. At the time, I wasn't particularly sure that I could go from small Satoshi purchases every Friday on the basis of DCA or dollar cost averaging, buying a regular amount every week. And I was quite excited to be able to get a mining package that we have seen such profit from. It's not profit in the sense that we need to get taxed, because we have no intention of selling our Bitcoin right now. But it's been a huge and super investment. Have a think about what you can do with units of $50 or £50, $250, £250 in your currency, and convert that into something meaningful. I can, in the event that we go for something like a civil war in the United Kingdom, because of all the terrifically frightening things that are happening with an incredible in the sense that I can't believe the government we have and what they've done in this last year. But if I think of something like an ounce of silver at $43, that has a potential value in a barter situation. But right now we're not in a barter situation. So although I'm holding some of these for sensible protection in the event of significant unrest in the United Kingdom, what I really want to do is convert the majority of what we earn every week into currency, away from fiat currency like pounds and dollars and Mexican pesos, which are losing money every day or going down in value. They're not losing money, they're going down in purchasing power every day. And I want to be converting those once a week into Satoshis, which gives us a future value and an enhanced purchasing power. Let's pretend a Bitcoin is $100,000, not 109, but if it was $100,000 and several years ago the median property was $300,000 and a Bitcoin was $50,000, then you'd need 6 whole Bitcoin to buy a house. If the dollar has declined in such value that the average or the median house now might be £400,000, and please don't take these examples as anything other than demonstrations, but let's say that £300,000 property has gone up to become a £400,000 or pounds or dollars property, but Bitcoin is now at 100, albeit 109. Now you can buy that more expensive in dollar terms property for just 4 Bitcoin. So the purchasing power of Bitcoin is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, which means that the dollar value of items you're purchasing is going down and down. So every 1,000 Satoshis, every 100,000 Satoshis, every million Satoshis you can buy right now, use those to buy a slice of this reducing Bitcoin pie of 21 million coins and set yourself up for a very strong future.